Hey, this is Mike and Tom with the Muscle and Speed podcast. We're here to talk about our favorite car movies, TV shows, music, and workouts, wheeling, whatever else comes to our mind. We're going to be posting these up once a week. You can also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube at Muscle and Speed. We also have a website, www.muscleandspeed.com, where we'll eventually be selling some merch. Our goal here is to share our passion for all these things with the people who feel the same way. All right, we're back, fellas. You ready for another week?
Hello.
Another Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Let's jump right in. So, Fast and Loud on Monday. I got all excited. Sit down, watch that episode. Got my whiskey. Got some snacks. They're building this Buick. Richard had made a huge deal out of it on social media, and then the episode showed virtually nothing of any of it. I know he's finally left his wife. Have you seen his new girlfriend?
Finally. Were we waiting for that?
Well, okay. Can I say something that, like, no one wants to say? Or people don't like to say or admit to? What happens when a guy like him comes up and gets famous? Like, real famous. And rich. Most of the time. Not every time. Most
Luckiest
of the time.
guy in the world. Got rich today and next day met the woman of his dreams.
Yeah.
Exactly. The thing of it is, their separation and divorce seems mutual. But he posted pictures on Twitter and everything today of him packing up his shit and getting out of his house. Or her house. Sorry. Her house.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's get that straight. So he's going to new digs. You know. It's one of those, like, think about it from this perspective. This is the way I think about it, too. So, if you're worth, say, Richard's worth $25 million. We'll just say he is. Richard's worth $25 million, and he's got to give up $12.5 million. That sucks, right? But now he's single with $12.5 million. I ain't saying it's right. I'm just saying he'll be fine. And his new girlfriend does not look like his wife. And that's not a knock against his wife. I'm just saying they're different. You guys didn't know I was going to go this way with it, did you? But they're making the 72 Riviera. They're putting a Corvette custom chassis, Corvette drivetrain. They're calling it the Battleship Buick. It's going to be like gunmetal gray. They're making custom brake ducts to cool the brakes, so it's going to perform. They got these custom, like, Halabrand style gold wheels. It's going to be nuts. I believe it's going to be a really cool car. I'm not doubting them. However, it would have been nice to see him get a little further in the episode than basically showing you the car. That was kind of lame.
No.
But, you know, what can you do? That's enough about Richard and his spangly jeans. He also got a new pair of sneakers and had to show those off, which was whatever. It's Richard. He also wears a lot of man jewelry on that guy.
Yes, he does.
Yeah. So, then the other thing would have been Strongest Man in History was on again. The Scotland.
Really liking that show, man.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Yeah, I like those guys. I have to admit some ignorance. I did not know that the caper toss was about accuracy.
I didn't either.
I guess I never really knew what it was. I think in my mind I thought it was throw it up over as far as you can, and it has to do a somersault, and whoever goes the farthest wins. That's what I think I thought it was.
Me too. Like where the end of it would be.
Right. I had no idea it was accuracy. And did you notice they didn't measure anything? So you make
No,
that throw, and they're like, well, that looks perpendicular.
Yeah.
I bet in competition they are,
Yeah, I'll bet you they must. They must measure angles and stuff, but
considering only one of those guys got it to flip.
that was cool too to see the guys. I mean, they're obviously strong enough to do it, but to see Brian fail, that was interesting.
Yeah.
You know that pissed
What's
him
the
off.
weigh? 130 pounds, 120 some pounds.
Yeah, and every single one of those guys have pressed 400 over their head. So
Mhm.
yeah, that's it. It was cool. And then the stone put, to see that.
Ancient shot put.
Yeah, ancient shot put. That was kind of neat. I did shot put in high school, so that makes me incredibly qualified to talk about their form. Brian's form sucked. Did you notice he pulled the rock away from his neck before he threw it? Like Robert even told him not to do that. Like keep it tucked as long as possible and then push it off. And he didn't. He didn't do that. I don't know if it was mobility or not because he's huge, but
No.
Yeah, shot put's not easy. It's a lot of people want to throw it.
yeah. I honestly think he might have done better if he tried to throw it. Although it might have hurt his shoulder. I don't know.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's got to come off the cheek.
Yeah. They showed it in slow mo. Didn't you think that? Didn't you think it like came off his cheek and neck way early? I don't know. It was in slow mo, so maybe he didn't, but I don't know. You coach track, so you'd know these.
Yeah,
things.
that would be a non-throw that would not qualify.
Yeah.
But anything works on TV.
Right. Well, then Oberst crushed him, so it didn't matter.
Yeah.
But he threw shot. What do you say in high school and college? So
Yep. Both.
yeah, it shows. But then those what the hell were those stones called? Do you guys remember?
Guinea stones or something?
Something like that.
Guinea? No.
But that was amazing. Like, because they're weird, right? One's 400 and some pounds. The other one's like 300 and some pounds.
Yeah, 733 pounds combined.
And they got those old metal rings that you got to pick them up with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like a half-inch in diameter, just digging into your fingers.
Eddie picked him up. Did he move with them or did he just pick him up?
He got like a couple feet, I think.
Okay,
He did.
2 or 3 feet.
And then that Nick Best actually went further than Eddie, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Yeah. And then Oberst was, he got a decent distance with him, and then Brian Shaw shattered the record by a lot.
Yeah. Brian went for a stroll.
But it's not just the weight, though. It was the shape of them. Like, you couldn't move normally. You kind of had to shuffle your feet. It was cool. I was impressed.
Yeah, very. I couldn't imagine.
No, it was, yeah, that was nuts. I'm trying to think. Oh, that's what he's saying. The guy who had set the original record from way back when, the Scottish dude. They said that he didn't actually carry him. He picked him up, set him down, picked him up, he basically picked it up, like stood up with it, set it down in front of him, picked it up, set it down. That's how he set the record to begin with. So what Brian did was way more difficult, and he crushed it.
Yes.
And that was cool. They had that book that you handwrite your name into. That book's got to be what, 200 years old?
Very cool.
I guess I'm being naive and thinking that that's the same book they used from the olden days.
We'll say it is.
We'll say it is. I feel like it's true. How about you guys?
Yeah, why not?
That's my favorite thing to say these days. I feel like that's true. Because I do. I feel like it's true. And it's on again tonight. I don't know what the hell they're doing, but I am really enjoying this show, and I was gonna pass on Eddie's upcoming show, the Eddie Eats America, where they have food challenges and strength challenges. I'm gonna watch it.
Sure.
But the more I watch this, the more I think that it would be even better if they had the other guys in it too. The problem is he's retired, so he's got time, and the other ones are actually active competitors. You know, Nick Best even, he participates in the Masters division. He wins it, so he's not going to be able to do it either. I don't know, guys. I bet Eddie can eat a lot, though, when he really wants to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. So then getting back to car stuff, I shared with you guys the new GT500s. Ford keeps releasing tidbits about the car here and there, right? And they just said that it will go 0 to 100 to 0 in 10.6 seconds. Now, it's kind of a weird metric to release, but when you really stop and think about it, that is incredibly impressive. And for a street car, that's
You owe me an 11-second car.
Vin Diesel couldn't handle it. It's impressive. I don't know. I looked up, and I'm going to share it with you real quick. I looked up some other cars' times just because it made me curious. Like 10.6 seconds, I have no frame of reference. How fast is that? So the new Acura NSX will do it in 10.9. The ZL1 Camaro 11.1. The Dodge Viper ACR 11.1. The Nissan GTR 11.3. The Chevy Corvette Grand Sport 12.2. The F-Type is a 12.2. The Shelby GT350R 12.5. So, I mean, the only cars that were faster were two of the McLarens and a Porsche Turbo S. The Tesla was too, but I don't know. I don't care about that car. But, you know, that puts it in some pretty rarefied air. You know, that's up there with some supercars, some cars that cost a couple $100,000.
Yeah.
You know, so and it makes me wonder because there are different versions of the GT500 coming. So there is a carbon fiber edition that is like the R version that shaves a bunch of weight, and you know, I doubt this was that one. So I'm curious as to what that one will do or how much better it would be. But it's cool.
Yep.
So then the other little nuggets that have been released about the GT500, the engine actually makes 850 horsepower. The supercharger takes 90 to spin. That's how big it is. That's interesting. That's a big supercharger. And the 0 to 100 to 0, so they did an event. They claim the GT500 can launch, hit 100, and stop on the deck of an aircraft carrier.
Wow.
Wow.
That's impressive. And famously, the Shelby Cobra for many, many, many years was the fastest to do it, and that was 13.6 seconds. But I thought that was pretty cool.
Unreal. That's unreal.
Deck of an aircraft carrier.
I would like to see it. And then the engine itself, a lot of people get this wrong because a lot of people think that it's the same engine that's in the GT350. It's not. It's a stroked out 5.0, and it's the 5.2 liter that they put in the GT4 race car. So it's a supercharged version of that engine. And it's only making 12 PSI, so there's room there to add a lot more power. With a tune.
That's a small stroke.
Yeah.
And
the GT500 has a saddle style gas tank with a jet pump. So what that means is regardless of what you're doing, whether you're pulling high G's in a turn or wherever, and you're like almost out of gas, it will never sputter until it's literally bone dry, which is kind of neat. The oil pan is 11 quarts.
Wow.
Wow.
It has baffles in it that retain oil around the sump, so it can handle the 1.5 to 2 G cornering that the car is capable of. And it's almost like having a dry sump. That's what they claim. But it's pretty cool.
It is.
And the transmission shifts in 80 milliseconds. So that's what I learned about the GT500.
I'll have to get one.
Yeah. $75,000 if you can find
My
a
favorite.
dealer that'll let you have it for that.
Yeah.
But
I
yeah,
should tell my nephew to get a job with Ford instead.
Yeah. Well, and then the most impressive metric that we didn't talk about that I mentioned earlier was the Suzuki GSXR 1000 goes 0 to 100 in 10.9 seconds. So it's actually faster than a super bike, which is pretty cool.
And it weighs 450 pounds.
Right.
The bike.
Right.
That's crazy.
And the car will be close to 4,000 pounds. They're all heavy these days.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think that's pretty nuts. It makes me wonder, though, what about the Hayabusa? Do you think the Hayabusa would be quicker than that or slower than that? It's going to accelerate faster.
Yeah, you got more bike to stop.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know.
Do you think when he rolled into that 10.9, he was doing a stoppie? You think he was up on his front wheel?
Yeah. Wasn't much pressure on that back tire.
No.
No.
No,
Oh.
definitely not.
I miss our bikes, Tommy.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Well, you know, I was serious. I think in the spring we should look at least looking at the Harleys. I think that would be worth it.
Let's go. Okay.
I don't have a motorcycle license though, so it would not be me. That would have to be you guys.
Tommy's getting a new deck.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
get that railing up so you quit falling off it.
Exactly.
Every time there's a full moon, Tommy falls off the deck.
Playing bumper cars up there.
Yeah,
Wait, you said deck.
yeah,
Oh,
deck.
yeah,
Deck.
Yeah. Your neighbors like going on your deck, eh?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Jordan asked if you've rebuilt your stairs on it.
Not yet.
He's got a fireman's pole.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I'd have to be careful of chafing. I like those short shorts. And then the other thing we were talking about, Dodge, which I know I talk about them kind of being like I feel like they're like the risk takers, and I think it's because they have been in third place for so long that, you know, they're taking shots at stuff, right? They're trying things.
Pressure, man. It's the best place to be.
So they're offering that $10 per horsepower discount on their performance cars.
I like that.
That's cool. So you get 3,000 off a V6 or 8,000 off a Red Eye.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's awesome.
Uh-huh.
That is really smart. And as we were talking about last week, they have surpassed GM both in truck sales And the Challenger has surpassed the Camaro. So they're not in third place anymore.
Good.
So
I like my Ram.
the problem when competing with Ford is that F-Series lineup, what's the biggest F-Series, dude? Is it an F550? Or is there one bigger than that?
Well, there's the industrial 650, 750.
Okay.
That's just all the big industrial trucks.
And that's kind of what I read is one of the reasons that they have such a hard time competing with Ford, Chevy, and Dodge is that Ford has this standardized lineup that goes all the way up to these massive industrial vehicles and then all the way down to a half-ton pickup. And neither of the others can offer that. And you know how people are, they buy one brand. If they're buying an F750, they're not going to drive a Chevy 1500 to go to the job site. You know what I mean?
No.
It's just how it is. It's just how it is.
Yep.
But I like that Dodge is taking these big swings, and I like that they keep moving on these things. And if you look at like Motor Trend and Roadkill and these other shows, especially the online stuff that's getting popular, almost all of it is at least partially sponsored by Dodge. But they're getting in there, throwing their money around. Like you said, they're in that pressure and they're clawing for space in the market. So I like it.
Yeah, I hope it works.
Who knows?
Imagine the guy's like, honey, we need to get the big discount.
Right. Yeah. I would love to try to use that for justification. Like,
I know. Yeah.
I was looking at the new Mustangs, but then I thought, look at this discount I get with the Dodge. So
yeah, $8,000.
Yeah.
$8,000, honey.
For you, honey, I went with the Dodge.
It buys itself.
It wouldn't work with Julie. As soon as I said buy something, she would be not impressed. But yeah, I don't know. I just thought that was cool about Dodge. So then NASCAR. So I don't pay a ton of attention to NASCAR, but when I get something that looks at least historic, or something like someone's going to break a record or something cool is going to happen, I always click on it then and see what's going on. So Denny Hamlin picked up his 5th win at Pocono over the last weekend. He's one behind Jeff Gordon's record. He's a fairly young guy, and most people expect him to break it. That was interesting. It was cool to read. But what caught my eye was that their new leadership there, Phelps, they're talking about him, people being patient with him as he tries to right the ship from Bill France, who most people credit with grenading NASCAR and ruining his popularity. They say that it started to fall off in 2007. And I guess I've never followed it close enough to know about specific changes that occurred around that time that started the decline. So,
Probably the playoff system they introduced.
yeah.
It's kind of stupid.
Well, and you mentioned something specific, and I liked it. One of the things that bothered you at the time.
Oh, yeah. The
Jeff Gordon.
Jeff.
Oh, yeah, when he won. Where was he at? Martinsville. Won a race at Martinsville. Did a nice burnout. Following week in Atlanta. Won the race. Car went to a burnout. Spittering and sputtering.
Really? An 850 horsepower car would do a burnout?
Yeah, right.
Because my Cutlass has about 250.
The tires spin. When the tires were spinning, the motor didn't like it.
Huh.
Yeah.
Because, my Cutlass has about 250 horsepower, and it'll do a hell of a burnout. Huh.
Yeah.
I'm just going to leave that
tires.
up to...
Yeah.
I don't know. Because it seems like sometimes coming out of a corner, when they get on the gas, they have to be careful, doesn't it?
Yeah.
At like 160 miles an hour?
Well, they might spin out if they're not careful.
Right.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't do a burnout.
Well,
That's weird.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
it's a Hendrick car, so it's all good.
I'm going to chalk it up to atmospheric pressure
Yeah.
and a bad clutch.
Yeah. Damn weather.
It was the weather. It was
Hmm.
it was too dry. It was too dry.
I
Yeah.
think I quit watching around 08, 07, 08. I just gave up on it.
Well, I was having a talk with Brian Lambert at the Tuesday night drive-in thing, and he hates NASCAR these days too, and he's a big GM guy. Um, but he kind of said the same thing, that they're so far removed from an actual car that you would recognize that it's just hard to get into it. And I think the amount of money they're spending, what is it, 16 million a year to run a NASCAR team? It's insane.
Yeah,
But if you took an actual car and then do the old school way, like give them a cubic inch limit and then let those engineers go nuts. If one guy has 800 horsepower and one guy has 700 horsepower, that's on that team. Figure it out.
exactly. Like in the days of old.
Yeah. Here's how your chassis, here's what you're allowed to use, here's what you're not allowed to use. Set it up how you want.
Yep.
Get it as close to the ground as you can, or as high up, or as banked on one side, or as cambered as whatever. Don't regulate the shit out of it so that they're all the same car with different stickers on it. That's what's stupid.
Yep.
Sticker package.
Yes.
Yeah, Tommy, we've said that for a long time.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then find out who the good teams are, and find out definitely who the good drivers are.
Well, and like some of the teams, like Yates Performance back in the day, they were known to squeeze the most horsepower out of their engines out of pretty much any team. And Hendricks, of course, is right there too, but that was what they were known for doing. And I feel like when something like that happens, NASCAR feels the need to regulate the hell out of it, and so these lesser teams can compete. I don't like that.
No. Nope.
I say figure it out. If someone's better than you, figure it out.
It's almost like Bernie Sanders is in control of the NASCAR. Gotta equal everything out, man.
They should give him a try.
Quit winning. Quit winning so much.
The commercials write themselves. Feeling the burn? Come on.
Yeah.
Throw a pair of aviators on old Bernie. Give him that Tom Cruise flight jacket.
Oh, man.
Or maybe just a members only jacket.
Oh, he owns one.
Oh yeah.
You can look at him and know he has one. Him and Joe Biden probably have matching ones. I'm sorry. I brought up Joe Biden, and I can't think about him without remembering the Bigger, Stronger, Faster documentary and the footage of him talking about he could have been a pro baseball player if it wasn't for all the steroids.
No.
No. Ask Will Clark, who never did a thing in his life. He stayed a skinny white boy, and he was an amazing baseball player for many years. You didn't need steroids. It would certainly prolong your career. You're certainly going to hit more home runs, but fielding, throwing, catching, every other part of the sport, it's just skill.
Yep. Yeah, Tid Williams didn't have muscle enhancers.
No. Well, and Barry Bonds was a hell of a baseball player before he ever stuck a needle in his ass.
Yes, he was.
He arguably had a Hall of Fame career before he ever got big. Same thing with Mark McGwire, although him and not Sammy Sosa. Who's the big guy with the Oakland A's?
Canseco.
Yeah, they were pretty big early on, but I don't know. Mark says he only used Andro, so they made that illegal too.
Yeah. Jose says otherwise.
Yeah.
I'll stick it in you, and you stick it in me.
Yeah. The Bash Brothers.
What was in that? It's just B12.
It's vitamins. It's my vitamins.
Yep.
What was that in Tropic Thunder when he was trying to get when what's his face Jack Black was trying to get his drugs, and they're like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "It's my vitamins. I need my vitamins." That bat ran off with his drugs. He killed it, and he was like eating the bat raw. What a great show!
I haven't seen it in a long time.
And he's like, "Don't judge me." Oh, that's good stuff. So, the other thing from a Muscle and Speed update is T-shirts are in. They're up online. I took these crappy pictures on our kitchen table, basically, and post them because I don't want to put my big butt in one and then take a picture of it, and I don't think they would enhance the looks of the
Come
shirt.
on.
Maybe the women's shirt. Maybe I could have put on a women's shirt and
Yes.
rocked that.
Yeah.
But also maybe not. But we are going to get better pictures of them up and then put them on. We've sold some. I'm trying to keep an eye on the shipping, and so I'm using the U.S. Postal Service, and it's not that expensive, but also it costs a little more than I would hope. So it is what it is, I don't have any control over that, obviously, or we don't. So I think it was $7 to ship to El Paso. That's the other end of the country, so you can do the math from there. It's cheaper if you're closer.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's up. Doing good. Julie's truck is almost done. We have dubbed it the Sasquatch Hunter. In fact, I ordered a custom license plate bracket that says Sasquatch Hunter.
Oh, oh no.
Oh, yes. And I'm looking forward to some off-road adventures, some woodland adventures where we go try to track down a Sasquatch, a Yeti. Do they call him Yeti here? Asking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, all we can do is look, man.
Yeah. We're going to go find Sasquatch in my wife's truck. That's what I think. Jules' truck is going to be the Sasquatch Hunter. And it's going to be a good time. We took her truck down to the drive-in. What's funny about that is I had Julie take pictures while I was just standing around talking. And she didn't take a picture of her truck. And she's got some more work she wants to do to it, but it really does look really good. And I keep telling her that. I'm like, it's cool looking. It's really cool. The green is great. The lift, the fender flares, the whole nine. We're gonna put bed liner in it and line the box, and I'm not gonna do too much more to it. But
You should jump it.
that would be awesome. She already got her first noise complaint, so that's cool.
Oh, atta girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm really proud of the truck. I'm really proud of the work she did. We are going to take it down to the car show in a couple weeks here in Baraga. My brother Will's coming up, so he's going to have his Camaro there. We'll have the Mustang and the Cutlass down there. It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time.
Right on.
I'm looking forward to it. Muscle and Speed's going to be giving away. We're in the drawing to give away one of our shirts and stuff to one of their raffle people. So it'll be good.
Heck yeah.
Very nice.
It'd be nice if a certain yellow Mustang made it down.
Better get a 6.9 out.
Makes an appearance.
Yeah.
Yep.
The dog father is going to be there. And
Oh.
apparently they're talking about having a fish option. How about that? They're having 2 different food trucks this year, but I don't know. I don't know if that's happening or not, but that was the talk. But it is a good show. It's growing. We get basically all of Main Street, or as much of Main Street as we need to fit the cars in, and we get it all day, which is pretty cool. Do whatever we want. But yeah, so that's pretty cool. That's about all I got. How about you guys?
Go Lions.
Go Lions. There. Actually, before we go, let's talk about the Lions real quick. As we were talking about that at Tuesday night down at the drive-in, but I'm kind of annoyed that really every major football reporting site has the Lions finishing in last in the North and being one of the worst teams in the NFL this year.
Yeah, they're dogging Patricia too.
Well, they have Green Bay competing. Now, here's what's interesting to me about that. I know Detroit went 6-10 last year, and there was reasons for that. And I am hinging a lot on Kenny Galladay's improvement and Kerryon Johnson staying healthy. So that's one thing that does have to happen for them to be competitive. But Green Bay hasn't beat Detroit in like 3 years. They haven't beat them in a football game in 3 years. So how the hell are you going to sit there and tell me that they're going to be competing for the title in the North?
They have Aaron Rodgers.
I know. They also got worse in this offseason. So whatever they were last year, they're going to be worse this year.
Yeah.
Aaron's a little older. He's going to be a little bit less than he was. It's just what happens. And he doesn't have the talent around him that Brady does. So don't bring up Brady. It doesn't even matter. Aaron doesn't have Belichick there.
Lions were practicing with Patriots, eh?
Yeah.
Yep.
They play, tomorrow?
Yeah.
Tomorrow evening.
Their D-line's looking good. Their linebackers are young and they're fast. Their secondary's really good. Their defense was 6th in the league last year, and it's better this year. So I'm serious. I don't understand why they're getting placed where they are. I really don't. I don't know, guys.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know I'm a
all
Detroit
I can do
fan.
is hope for the best.
I'm not saying I expect them to win the Super Bowl, and in all reality, I think they're a little worse than the Vikings. Or at least similar. I think they're a similar team to the Vikings. I think the Vikings have a little bit better defense and a little bit worse offense. And I think the Bears, if they continue the way they were, are probably the best team in the North. But I don't know. I think that Detroit has a really good chance at finishing second in the NFC North. I don't think they'll beat the Bears. Maybe they will, but I don't think so.
As long as they beat the Pack.
I think they are going to beat. I don't see the Pack beating them. How? They got older and they got less talent this year than they had last year. The best thing the Packers did in the offseason was re-sign Jordy Nelson to a 10-day contract so he could retire a Packer. That's the best thing they did. Yeah, I don't know. And so Clay Matthews is gone too, right?
Yep.
Yeah. He's out on the West Coast where he's always wanted to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for them. I seen in football, just discussing football. We're getting close to football, so we might as well dive in. But Kaepernick did a workout video showing off his football skills and threw it out to social media. Let everybody know that he's still here.
Still in shape.
Well, I doubt he's in football shape after all this time and $90 million Nike dollars, but
well, he's right where he needs to be, sitting out and watching.
well, I mean, of course, then people all jump in like, he should be playing, he should be starting, he should be this, and quite a few people also pointed out, like, hey, he opted out of his 49ers contract. He was offered contracts by Baltimore and Seattle and turned both teams down because he wanted a guaranteed starting position. One, He's never been a pimple on the ass of Russell Wilson. So that ain't happening in Seattle.
No.
And Baltimore, it just... He's not that good, guys. He's just not.
No, he doesn't want to go and earn a starting position.
No, he wants it
No.
given to him based on fame.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not saying he's a total crap ball player, but he was 3-16 in his last 19 starts or something. It wasn't good. It wasn't a flattering
very good.
statistic.
There's a reason, and I like Tim Tebow, but there's a reason he's not a quarterback.
Right.
Gotta have it, man.
Right. And Kaepernick was one of those guys when he came in. I don't know why this happens, but it does. You get a guy like him that's really athletic, and he is talented. And it's like it takes a year for defenses to start scheming for him, learn his tendencies. So they have a great first year, which he did. But then that second year, everyone adjusts, and they struggle if they can't throw the ball. If you can't play in the pocket and throw the ball as a quarterback, you're not going to make it.
No.
Because you're also not consistently going to take hits from 300-pound men and play and throw.
Yeah.
It's just how it is. And plus, I think he sucks as a person. Just because it's all been for show. It really has. I mean, you look at the facts, you look at the way he reacted, the way he's been in the media. Maybe initially he did it for real personal reasons. Maybe. But there's obviously a point where it became very commercial.
Yep.
And he was only willing to protest on his employer's dime. And a lot of these guys are kind of like that now. And that's where I think it's wrong. I mean, you're famous. You don't have to do it an in-season press conference or in-season thing. You can do it off-season. People still care who you are, especially in your areas. If it mattered that much and if you cared that much, that's what you'd be doing. I don't know.
Exactly.
That's just how I feel about it. But, yeah, okay. That is really all that I have. But thanks for bringing up Detroit, because I had kind of forgotten that I wanted to talk about that.
Oh, no problem.
How's football going for you guys?
Starting on Monday.
Monday.
So we'll be in it. 2-a-day practices all week, and
Nice.
yeah, let her rip.
Nice. I seen some kids out on Barrigas Field today. I don't know that they were in any kind of organized practice. It didn't really look like it, so I don't know what they were doing.
Yeah, probably just kids being kids finally. Playing.
Might have been. It's hard to believe, in this day and age, but it's possible.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, guys.
Sounds good, fellas.
Yeah.
All right, take care, eh?
Yeah, we'll catch you later.